What if we played Raph and Mikey Troublemakers and Legacy Reanimator? That's exactly what we're doing today. Let's go check it out. Let's begin by thanking Ryan Kelly for today's donation deck of Legacy Reanimator, and this is actually Rude Slay's list, but with one minor adjustment. Rude Slay likes to play 61 cards, I do not, so I cut the third copy of Duress to get it down to 60. Other than that, this is Rude Slay's 76 or 75, whatever you would like to call it, and we're playing it today. The idea is that we're leveling up Reanimator by using Raph and Mikey Troublemakers, a new card from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where it's a 7/7 Haste Trampler, and then whenever it attacks, you reveal creatures from the top of your library. You put that creature tapped and attacking onto the battlefield, and then the rest go on the bottom in a random order. I actually played this card last week in Show and Tell combo. You can find that one in the card above, where I went undefeated. And I think, well, Reanimator's the next best thing, so let's try it again today and see if we can go 5-0. So the deck is pretty stock. I mean, yeah, Entomb was banned, but they've leveled up by playing Collective Brutality, which allows you to escalate, get a creature to the graveyard uncounterably, and then disrupt them, which is great. It also picks off creatures that might be stopping you from winning, like Dothy Voidwalker, which is really nice. And then you can reanimate using things like Reanimate itself, Animate Dead, or we're actually bringing back Exhume. You weren't allowed to play this card for a while because of Reanimator being so popular. You weren't able to play it because you didn't want to reanimate your opponent's creatures. Well, with Reanimator falling off the map, this becomes a viable strategy again, and you are not pressured into playing Shallow Grave. So I like that. The deck plays Unmask and Thoughtseize. This allows you to target yourself. That way you can put creatures to the graveyard. So it's not just Collective Brutality. And this makes it so you don't have to run things like Faithless Looting, which I like a lot. In the sideboard, we're playing Show and Tell. This is how we beat Graveyard Hate primarily, because when you look, there's no way to answer a Leyline of the Void or Grafdigger's Cage or anything like that. So you're going around rather than through. So we have Show and Tell, but then you also have a side juke of Witherbloom Apprentice plus Chain of Smog. This will deal your opponent infinite damage or infinite life loss, and then you have Spoils of the Vault to help, make that happen more frequently. So that's the idea here, is we're not ever going to answer a Leyline of the Void or Grafdigger's Cage. Instead, we're just going to juke them entirely, and I'm sure we'll do that in this video as well. So thank you to Ryan Kelly for the donation deck. Thank you to Rude Slay for providing me a rough sideboard guide. I really appreciate that. My community went and got that for me, which I really need because I didn't know what I was doing. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. And I will see you in match number 1. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicswarm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicswarm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first round. We're playing Legacy Reanimator post-Entomb ban. We're on the draw, and I've opened up a hand where I don't think it does much. So I am not a Reanimator expert. That say, I can pretty safely say that this one's a mulligan. We do not have a large creature. If I play Thoughtseize, I have no way of getting a large creature to the graveyard either. You do have a Surveil land in the deck, I believe 2. So you could pray to Surveil into a large monster, but I think we should probably just leverage the London Mulligan into something better here. Sending this one back. So this is better, but I need another mana. We'll keep it. Put Bristlebrand on the bottom. Maybe I'm trying too hard to make Raph and Mikey work, but I feel like it would be super fun if we did. So I think it's Bristlebrand that goes on the bottom here. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's the Atraxa. We'll do Atraxa. They play Underground Sea into Tameo Inquisitive Student. Okay. Animate Dead. We'll play Undercity Sewers. We need mana. That is not mana. Send it to the graveyard. Pass. So I could have played Unmask on turn 1. I am aware. But I think you probably want to hold that until you're ready to move. Or ready to try to resolve Collective Brutality or something along those lines. I think just playing it out because you can leads to you getting blown out by a brainstorm or other things. So Dark Ritual means I'm 1 mana away from going Dark Ritual, Collective Brutality, Exhume. I'm going to just pass the turn. They grab a second copy of Underground Sea, and now they'll draw a card off their clue token. No, it's an Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. I am fine with you not drawing a card. Wasteland. That was my fear. Yep. Brutal. Okay. That hurt. And now they have Thoughtseize. They take my Dark Ritual. We draw another. Pass the turn. We are still in this. I need to draw a land. But if I go to discard, get rid of a large monster, and then play my land, unmask Dark Ritual, Reanimate, like, we're at 15. We're still in striking distance. Okay, we'll go to cleanup. They draw a card off a clue. I just need a land here. Like, I know that it seems like I'm out of this game. I don't think I am. Our opponent has 4 cards. If I can just draw, like, a fetch land for basic swamp, I'm feeling good. Now they attack. I'll go to 13. They play another copy of Ponder. This will transform the Tamiyo, which allows them to get back Thoughtseize. They'll be able to get back Thoughtseize next turn, not this turn, just to clarify. They plus the Tamiyo, and I have continued to not draw lands. We will go to cleanup. They draw off the clue token. I'll get rid of the Gristlebrand. They're going to plus the Tamiyo here. Interesting. Okay. Now a Murktide Regent, a 6/6 flyer. They swing for 2. I'll go down to 11. A basic swamp. Alright, let's unmask, target them, exile, Animate Dead. They're going to Orcish Bowmasters in response. I'll go to 10. And they have nothing. We'll take the Daze. We'll play Dark Ritual. Interesting spot here. So if I go Exhume plus Reanimate, I could reanimate the Gristlebrand down to 2 life. And then attack with the Raph and Mikey. But if I reveal another Gristlebrand, it's actually very bad for me. So something I could do is Collective Brutality into Reanimate, but then I have to reveal a big lifelinker, which I feel like is probably bad. We'll play the Exhume. I'll get Raph and Mikey. I have to hope to not hit Gristlebrand, I think. And if I don't reanimate the Gristlebrand, I am dead on board. If I don't hit... Like, if I hit an Archon of Cruelty, it doesn't trigger. So I have to reanimate the Gristlebrand, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but that is my impression here. I think we attack them, trigger the Raph and Mikey, and we reveal another Gristlebrand. No! Now I have to choose a Gristlebrand to keep, which is going to be the... Oh, hold on. If I don't leave the one back, I'm dead on board, because going up to 9 doesn't keep me alive. Alright, so I have to keep the untap one. That was worst case scenario. I was really hoping for like an Atraxa there. We will pass the turn. They draw a card with the clue. They play a swamp. I just realized I'm dead on board if our opponent's smart. They can attack with both Orcish Bowmasters and the Orc Army, and then don't attack with the Murktide Regent. I go to block the Orc Army. They Fatal Push it. I take 2 from the pair of Orcish Bowmasters and I lose the game. They draw a card off the clue token. They return the Daze with Tamiyo. So now their Murktide Regent is a 7/7. And they missed the line. They had lethal. I will block the Murktide Regent. They play a Nethergoyf. Archon of Cruelty is the draw. We'll go to combat. Attack them. Trigger the Raph and Mikey. Another Gristlebrand. And I believe that this is lethal. They block, it will trample over for 5. And we're going to get a game I didn't deserve to win here. So I told you it was looking really bad, but I still thought that I was in this game, and we came back and won it. That said, our opponent did miss lethal. I did have a bad Raph and Mikey flip, but it ended up converting, which is really what matters here. So we get game number 1. And then the way that this deck is constructed, Rude Slay sent me a rough sideboard guide, which is that you're supposed to full juke, which I love. But that's what the Reanimator people are calling it, where we're going to board out Reanimate, Animate Dead, and then Exhumes. And we're going to just become a full combo deck where we bring in Show and Tells, Spoils of the Vault, a card that I'm a known hater of, but I get it, it makes sense. It is the glue card here for the Chain of Smog plus Witherbloom Apprentice combo. And then now that you're no longer a Reanimator deck, Collective Brutality gets a little bit worse, so you can board out 2 of those. And then I was told boarding out one Raph and Mikey because you don't want to reveal Witherbloom Apprentice to it. So we're going to try this. That is the game plan. Game number 2, we're on the draw. I have Show and Tell. I have a large monster. The only thing we're lacking is protection. So I'm going to keep this, and hopefully we draw into Unmask, Duress, Thoughtseize, Collective Brutality, that sort of thing. Alright, so they play a Mishra's Bauble. I think that they might have wanted to consider holding on this, because they could transform the Tameo if they just waited until my upkeep, because they draw a card off of the Bauble, they then draw a card for turn, they attack with the Tameo, they draw off the Clue, and you have a turn 2 transformed Tameo. And there's Collective Brutality. That was a good. Alright, so we're 1 mana short of Collective Brutality into Show and Tell in 1 turn, because of the Dark Ritual. They have a Wasteland. I'm going to sit on my fetch land and not play into this Wasteland. My best draw would likely be another copy of Dark Ritual this turn. Witherbloom Apprentice. We'll play the Bloodstained Mire and pass. They're going to draw off the Clue token. They play Polluted Delta, 6 cards in their hand. Okay. Honestly, the full JUKE is not something I would have thought of on my own, and I think it's pretty brilliant. Like, all of the surgical extractions and very macabres that people board in just are not useful. I really like that. We'll cast Dark Ritual. And Collective Brutality in Duress mode. Target you. Hopefully they just have a bunch of Graveyard Hate and not Interaction. I also wish I drew a little bit better. Like, I did not need more creatures here. Force of Will, exiling Murktide Regent. They have 4 cards in hand. I think I'm just gonna slam Show and Tell and pray. We'll grab Bayou, fetch. They're going to fetch in response. Interesting. For an Undercity Sewers. We need them to not have a lot of cards here, which is unfortunate, but it's just the spot that I'm in. I suppose I could have waited until I found a 4th mana or another protection spell. That is a possibility. They draw off the Clue. Show and Tell, please resolve. I said please. Nope, another copy of Force of Will. At least it wasn't Dazed. I guess that's my takeaway here. They have 3 cards left in hand. Not loving my odds of winning this. We'll concede. Maybe I shouldn't have F6, because now they got to see my deck. I wasn't expecting an End-Step Surgical. Now they know. Now they know. Punished. I'm going to resubmit. Game 3 on the play. Why do I get these hands with no mana in them? This hand is so close to being broken. I think I'm supposed to mulligan it, though. Like, if this Witherbloom Apprentice was a fetch land, this is just, like, a nut draw. But we're sending it back for 6. So, this has everything other than a green mana. I think we keep. Get rid of Show and Tell. We'll play the Sewers. And there we go. That's a green mana. Pass the turn. They have Marsh Flats into Nethergoyf. Okay. We'll play the Polluted Delta. We'll cast Unmask, target them, exiling these Spoils of the Vault. The Force of Will. Okay. I'm not going to play into Daze here. I think playing into Daze would be reckless. So I'm going to pass the turn and just grab a Surveil land on their end step. They attack for 2. And now they play Ponder. They now play a Polluted Delta and fetch. 2 cards in their hand into Tameo. Alright, so a Dark Ritual might win it for us, if I can find one. We'll grab the Underground Mortuary and Surveil. I don't need another land. We'll get rid of that. Raph and Mikey, now is not the time. Alright, Witherbloom Apprentice. They swing. 2 cards in their hand. I will not block. They play a land. They draw off the Clue. Back up to 2 cards. We draw Gristlebrand. Alright. Chain of Smog targeting myself. Do we win? Discard our 2 creatures. They're going to exile Chain of Smog with Surgical. I don't think that matters here. I'm pretty sure it does not matter. Alright, so now we'll copy it. I wish there was a way to always same target so it didn't make me click. Our opponent says GG's. GG's to the opponent. And it looks like we have won match number 1. How about that? 1-0 start. Let's try to win the next 4. Packs.com is the new way to open your favorite cards. It's a site where you open digital packs of trading cards like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and One Piece cards, and have the cards you open mailed quickly and securely to you. With a wide range of packs to choose from, such as the latest Magic sets, Kaladesh inventions, or even beta. I'm going to open a beta pack. What's great about Packs.com is you can see all of the cards and their odds of being opened in each pack. Now it's time to open one and see what I get. Come on, Black Lotus! If you don't like what you opened, you could sell it back instantly for more packs, or sell it and pick a specific card from the marketplace over at packs.com/market. If you want to check out packs.com, make sure to click the link in the description of this video and use code STORM5 when making a purchase for 5% extra on your first purchase. We are back for the second match and on the play. Let's go. We have Unmask. This is a turn 1 Archon of Cruelty if we disrespect the opponent. I don't think I'm going to disrespect. I think I'm going to be a little bit more patient here, which might bite me in the butt, but I'd like to be protected. So I'm going to just play Underground Mortuary Pass. Although the opponent is on 5 cards. So I could go Swamp, Petal, Brutality. That might be better. Because if they're on like Oops All spells, I might be able to trip them up. Because 5 cards is low. So we'll Brutality, and we'll Escalate, target them, discard the Archon of Cruelty. And they are, in fact, on Oops All spells. Okay, so we need to take the black mana here. We'll take the Fell the Profane. Pass the turn. I could Unmask. I'm aware, but then I'm not going to be able to reanimate the Archon, so I'm hoping that I draw a black card next turn. Oh, wow, they ripped another black mana. Oh, yep. Turn 1 through a discard spell. Sure. Brutal. And that means that I'm going to lose the match because we have there's only 2 Mark Amoebas. I'm guessing they have what is it called? Poxwalkers. I don't actually see Poxwalkers in here. I mean, it's clearly in there somewhere. So this is going to give them the 3rd creature. I guess I should have been more greedy and did the Unmask. That's so unfortunate. I know that some builds of Oops have Leyline of the Void in them. I think I might do like a partial juke here, and we'll bring in Show and Tells, but that's it. Get rid of the Archon of Cruelties. I don't think they're good in this matchup. And then maybe like 2 Exhumes? Or is Collective Brutality not very good here, because it's 2 mana versus Oops All spells? It might be that. Alright, that was disappointing. On the play. And our deck has no way to interact with Oops on the draw for game 3, even if I win this one. We will mulligan. So this is a turn 2. No, it's not even a turn 2 because I'd have to draw a mana. I guess we keep in turn 1 Duress and pray that's good enough. It was not last game. If this was a Thoughtseize, it could have been turn 1 Gristlebrand. Duress you. They kept a garbage hand. We'll take an Unmask. Pass the turn. They unmask me, exiling Poxwalkers. They take the Show and Tell. Thoughtseize off the top. Let's see it. Thoughtseize, please. They play Lotus Petal. Raph and Mikey. We will pass. They play a land. Hey, we drew Thoughtseize. Dark Ritual. Target myself. Discard Gristlebrand. I'm at 17. And Exhume. We will draw 7 down to 10 life. Let's draw 7 more down to 3. Play Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal. Play our land. Let's unmask them. Exile an Atraxa. We'll take these. I don't think it matters here. They'll have 4 mana no matter what I do next turn. Guess we'll take the Cabal Ritual. Unmask, target you. Exile another Atraxa. Take the Spirit Guide. I will now play Show and Tell. We'll put in Raph and Mikey. And probably reveal another Gristlebrand, knowing my luck. Well, I guess, like, statistically, there's only 1 Atraxa Raph and Mikey could reveal. So it's 75% likely to reveal a Gristlebrand. Alright, we will keep the one that's attacking. And now we'll go back down to 3 and hope to draw the final Unmask. And I did. Alright, we'll cast it. Exile something. I don't know. Gristlebrand. And they concede. Okay, so we won game 2. The problem is game 3 we're on the draw and we're just going to die on turn 1, so nothing matters. I'm just going to send it back. Our only hope here is that our opponent mulligans into the dirt. That's pretty much it. So this is a turn 1 large creature. And they have kept 7. We are dead. I'm just going to click keep. It doesn't even matter. Welcome to Legacy. Alright, they have a land. They mean Spirit Guide, Cabal Ritual. Dothy Voidwalker. I was not expecting that. If they have a Thoughtseize, they could take my Atraxa. Now they unmask me. They could take my Atraxa. That's crazy. Take my Atraxa and then reanimate it next turn. I misspoke. Not reanimate. Play it for free off of Dothy Voidwalker. And they do take the Atraxa. We drew a land. Doesn't really help me here. We'll play out the Lotus Petal. Pass the turn. So a slim chance we have of winning is if for some reason they do not play the Atraxa, or they do, and then it reveals garbage. If I was expecting Dothy Voidwalker, I would have left in all 4 copies of Collective Brutality. They're deciding if they would like to attack here. And they do. So they will swing. Come on, Collective Brutality off the top. Let's see it. Another Unmask. I guess I'll play Unmask and get rid of... I'll exile Animate Dead. Let's see what their last card is. Their own Reanimate. Okay. So they could have used Dothy and then played Atraxa and then reanimated it. So I think that's a punt on their part. They could have done better. I would have been a free Atraxa and then getting their Dothy Voidwalker back. They're going to use the Dothy Voidwalker. Alright, we're hoping for straight garbage here. They play Atraxa. We need to see 10 terrible cards. Bridge from Below, Fell the Profane Thoughtseize, Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, Fell the Profane Agadeem's Awakening, and another Dothy Voidwalker. Ah, the second Voidwalker. It was almost good enough. Almost. They choose Thoughtseize, Dothy Voidwalker, Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual. They did not Dark Ritual Dothy Voidwalker first. Interesting. They take my Unmask. Weird. Okay. Oh, you drew Undercity Informer for turn 2? Sure, why not? Why not? Yep. Alright. We lose this match. We are now 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Welcome to match number 3, where we are on the play. We've opened up a hand that is 1 mana shy of a large reanimated monster on turn 2. I'm going to try this. We'll keep. We'll play the Bloodstained Mire and then unmask, targeting them. And we will exile Archon of Cruelty. Well, that's certainly a deck. So we're facing the Azorius Tempo deck that has a Stifle in it. We'll take the Force of Will, and then we'll fetch... I need to do this now to avoid Stifle. So the question is, do I grab my basic and pray to draw another land, or do I grab the Surveil land, but risk them drawing Wasteland and then me never winning? I think I'm going to grab the basic, and then we'll play Duress and take the Brainstorm, and hopefully this is enough to slow the game down for us to come back. Alright, Brainstorm gone. So I need a second mana source, but I also need a black card for this unmask, so I'm at least 2 draw steps away. They play Tundra and Tamiyo. Alright. Well, I hit the black card. I did not find a mana. We need a mana. So we have 12 remaining lands, 4 Lotus Petals, 4 Dark Rituals. They attack with the Tamiyo. Actually, Stifle stops Animate Dead. I just realized. I actually can't beat the Stifle. Alright, well that was a good draw. We'll play Thoughtseize. They're going to fetch in response. They flash in Ophelia. Okay. They drew Force of Will. Oh my. Yup. Pass the turn. And now a Quantum Riddler. We are toast. Yup. I mean, I had a relatively decent hand too. But this Azorius Tempo deck is built to beat combo decks. Like... I don't think it could ever in a million years beat the energy decks, but it's really good against everything I play. So I know that they have a Force of Will in hand. This is just not good enough. I have to fetch. We'll grab Undercity Sewers and Surveil. Lotus Petal doesn't help me. We'll pass. Sure, why not? I've had enough. We'll go to the next one. Okay. I think we're supposed to full JUKE here. I could be wrong, but it is what I'm going to do. Goodbye to Reanimate, Exhume, and Animate Dead. And then we board out Raph and Mikey. And I think I want to keep an extra Collective Brutality versus this deck. So I'm going to board out both Raph and Mikey's, and we'll try this. On the play for game 2. I think this hand is actually bad because I don't have a show and tell. So it's just like 2 monsters and a discard spell. Well, mulligan. This is much better. So the interesting question to me here is, what do you want to do? Or do you try to do both and then get rid of the Lotus Petal? Like, I think you're supposed to commit to one here. I'll get rid of Witherbloom Apprentice because I think Disposal of the Vault gives me a little bit more flexibility. We'll play Thoughtseize. That is a lot of Swords to Plowshares. We will take Force of Will. Pass the turn. They have a basic Plains. Unmask. We'll play Bloodstained Mire and pass. I don't actually care about Rest in Peace, so I hope that they tap out for it here. They drew a Tundra, and that's the Rest in Peace. So their one unknown could be a Daze. That would be bad for me. We'll fetch, grab the Undercity Sewer, so that way I don't have to Dispose of the Vault if I find something good. We'll get rid of the Chain of Smog, and now Dispose of the Vault for Gristlebrand. I will name Gristlebrand from 17 life, and I go to 1. I guess 1 is more than 0, but they have double Swords to Plowshares here. It's only going to gain me 7 life, and I'm in the dirt. I needed enough life to activate Gristlebrand. We're just dead. Should I have gotten Atraxa? I was thinking that Gristlebrand would have been better, but maybe I'm wrong and I should have named Atraxa. I figured just drawing 7 would have been better when I was empty. They got me. Alright, I don't think there was much I could have done. If I had named Atraxa, I would have gone to 5, and then I would have gotten the trigger. Hindsight bias, I guess Atraxa was correct, but if I have a Gristlebrand where I can activate, I think Gristlebrand is actually better. Okay, well, we lose and we are now 1-2. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. We return for the 4th match. We're on the play versus Ali, who is a lands legend and not really a person I would like to be facing. Alright, so this hand would have been incredible if we had a large monster, but we don't. So I think we're supposed to send this one back. Mulligan. I mean, we keep this, but it's not a hand that I am excited about. Animate Dead on the bottom. We'll play Polluted Delta and pass the turn. Dark Ritual or Lotus Petal are by far my best finds off of my Surveil land. They play a Yevamaya Cradle of Growth. My fear is a crop rotation, because if I Collective Brutality them, and then they crop rotation me, they could exile the Atraxa before the Brutality resolves. I think we get rid of Exhume. It doesn't help me here. I mean, I could go all in on Unmask, or I could just wait a turn and try to draw another black card. I'm going to wait a turn. They have Maze of Ith. That is problematic. Yeah, we find the extra black card. Let's unmask, targeting them, exiling a Reanimate. They have double crop rotation. Why? Why are you like this? Your mulligan to 4 has double crop rotation in it. I am going to pass the turn. They play a Malevolent Rumble, and they hit the Bojuka Bog. That's good for me. The Bojuka Bog is in the graveyard. I don't think they play like an Echoing Deeps, or I don't know, I never know if it's Echoing Deeps or Depths, but yeah, so I think we're going to just go for it here. Collective Brutality. I will escalate. We'll discard the Atraxa Grand Unifier. We will take the crop rotation and then reanimate on the Atraxa Grand Unifier. This will trigger Lotus Petal, Atraxa. I think I want the Exhume and Polluted Delta. I'm going to burn the Lotus Petal so that way I can surveil with the Polluted Delta. Take the Rumble. Delta pass. They drew a Dark Depths. Their last card in hand, I cleared the Revealed Zone. Their last card in hand is a Boseiju who endures. We'll grab Underground Mortuary. Bayou can go to the graveyard. Dark Ritual does not help me here. We will attack. I'm sure they'll use their Mazavith. And they do, so my Atraxa won't do anything. And we'll pass. End step, they remove a counter from the Dark Depths the old manual way, paying 3 mana. A second copy of Mazavith. Ugh, you're killing me, Smalls. Another Dark Ritual. This means that if I draw a Gristlebrand, I could theoretically hardcast it. Okay. Once again, they're going to thaw the Dark Depths on the end step. It now has 8 counters on it. They're choosing to hold the Boseiju indoors, probably for an Animate Dead. I can hardcast that. Dark Ritual. This is actually my best creature here because it does something through Mazavith. Archon of Cruelty. I thought this was Reanimator. Here we are hardcasting spells. Boom! Love it. And our opponent concedes. Nice. We're going to want Show and Tell. And I think we actually want to do the full juke. So we're going to bring in everything here. Sideboard out Reanimate, Exhume, both copies of Raph and Mikey, and then the Collective Brutality. What am I missing? Animate Dead. Okay. Here we go. Game 2 on the draw. I don't think that this hand is good enough. We will mulligan. I need more mana. I think I'm going to mulligan to 5. This hand is close, but I think we can do better. I guess we're keeping this. We'll get rid of 1 Archon of Cruelty and the Collective Brutality. They play Mox Diamond. Gets rid of a Yavimaya Cradle of Growth, Thespian Stage, and a Sylvan Library. Good start. We'll play the basic Swamp and pass. I don't want to play out the Polluted Delta because if they play like Double Wasteland or something, I don't want to play into that. They draw 4 cards off the Sylvan Library. They play a Wasteland, Exploration, into another copy of Thespian Stage. 3 cards still in their hand. Oh my. We can Archon of Cruelty here. I can't protect it with an Unmask, but we are going to do something. Disruptor Flute could stop me here. Now we'll fetch Underground Sea and Show and Tell. We'll put in Archon of Cruelty. They have the Dark Depths, so they can make a Merit Lodge on my end step, but I will be at 22, so I will go to 2 life. Let's unmask them just in case they have something. And their last card was in fact Disruptor Flute. So I am not dead to the Merit Lodge, and that's why they flashed in the Disruptor Flute here. They did not misplay. They recognized that I would end up winning the game if they took that avenue. So what they're going to do instead is wait until I attack and then let the trigger resolve and then animate the Merit Lodge. Because if I attack, I get blown out. So the question is, am I supposed to attack here? I don't think so, because then I eventually end up losing. So I will pass the turn. This is an interesting spot to be in. They are, in fact, going to make the Merit Lodge. I wonder if that means that they have access to Life from the Loam? Or they have another Merit Lodge. Okay. So I am SOL here. I will go to 2. We will attack. They just have the game. I'm not going to be able to come back here. Swing. Trigger. And now they make a Merit Lodge and block. Okay, they got me. I am not going to change my board plans. We're going to just run it back. Alright, game 3 on the play. I think we keep this. I might live a little dangerously. So, I'm going to go Bloodstained Mire, Petal Pass. And then I think, maybe I don't Petal because they could destroy it. But I think I might Spoils of the Vault for Dark Ritual. And then I have Dark Ritual, Duress, Lotus Petal, Show and Tell, Archon. I could die to my own Spoils of the Vault, though. They have Mox Diamond. Gets rid of Bojuka Bog. Soul Guide Lantern, that's fine. Alright, are we going to believe in the heart of the cards here? I could be a coward and just surveil on the end step. But then if I get Wastelanded, we're so far behind. I'm going to choose to believe in the heart of the cards. Spoils of the Vault. We will name Dark Ritual. I am at 2 life. I will not be casting the second Spoils of the Vault. Play Duress. We'll take Crop Rotation, Lotus Petal, make a blue, play Show and Tell, Archon of Cruelty, trigger, another Show and Tell, pass the turn. And Allie has conceded the match. Alright, so we have clawed our way back. We've defeated a Lands Legend, and we are now 2-2. The best legacy podcast? That would be Eternal Glory featuring myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. We're available on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. The final match of this Legacy League, we are on the play. Unfortunately, no, we have to send it back. This hand doesn't do anything. We'll go to 5. Am I really supposed to go to 4? Or do you hope to spike off of the Underground Mortuary? I don't know. I think we keep this. We'll get rid of Lotus Petal and Bloodstained Mire. We'll play the Underground Mortuary. I think I have to get rid of the Reanimate. I mean, I don't want to. It's just we need a way to get a creature to the graveyard, and Reanimate does not do that. Plains and Ocelot Pride, so we're facing Energy. Okay, well, that was an incredible draw. Dark Ritual. Thoughtseize myself. Get rid of the Raph and Mikey. Animate Dead on the Raph and Mikey. Triggers. We'll... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to try to Surveil. I think that's foolish. We'll swing. Of course. Bummer. We'll keep the 7/7. I'm going to lose this to a Swords to Plowshares. There's a world in which I fetched that we revealed a non-Raph and Mikey. They play a Shadowy Backstreet. Prevails away Arid Mesa. And there's the Swords to Plowshares. Any other creature, I think we win this. Oh my. Truly cursed. We'll fetch. Grab the Undercity Sewers. Get rid of Unmask. Alright. Well, that somehow worked out. We'll exhume. Try it again. There's no Raph and Mikey left in the deck. There we go. Draw 7. Draw 7 more. Play Lotus Petal. We'll play out a Bayou. Another Lotus Petal. Thoughtseize myself. We'll discard Archon of Cruelty. And then we'll Animate Dead. Getting back the Archon of Cruelty. Make them sacrifice the Ocelot Pride. You know, this was a much better turn than I was expecting. Wow. Okay. The Legend rule actually helped us a little bit. I don't know what the game plan is for this matchup. Because a lot of lists I don't think play real Graveyard Hate. Okay, I went and looked it up. They do play Leyline of the Void and Grafdigger's Cage, and then there's some lists that also have Fairy Macabre. So I think we're doing the full juke here. I have a minute to make it happen, so let's click quickly. Also, I'd like to say thank you to Rudeslay once again for giving me the Cyborg guide for this. I'm sure that I didn't do everything perfectly, but I'm doing my best here. Alright, take out the Exhumes, the Raph and Mikeys. And then, honestly, I want to get rid of the Duress. So maybe we leave in one Raph and Mikey. I don't think that this is a great Duress matchup, so we'll try this out. We will keep. They have Leyline of the Void. I mean, we have a fast show and tell, but I don't have a large monster. They have Ocelot Pride. Come on, Dark Ritual. Thoughtseize. I think I'm actually going to Thoughtseize here and just make sure that when I resolve show and tell, it gets the job done. We'll take the Ampteraptor. They play the Marsh Flats. They swing. Ouch. I think I'm going to pass, and then on the end step, Spoils of the Vault for Atraxa. It's going to be from 14 life, which is far from guaranteed. They grab Elegant Parlor, another Ocelot Pride. Alright, so we know that both of their cards in hand are Wasteland. Alright, you can have some cats. Don't fail me, Spoils. Atraxa Grand Unifier. Hey, that was not failing me, thank you. Collective Brutality. I don't think I need to play that right now. We'll play Lotus Petal and Show and Tell. Put in the Atraxa Grand Unifier. We know that they just have a pair of Wastelands. I'll take Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, Witherbloom Apprentice, Chain of Smog, that's the whole combo. And Undercity Sewers. Play the Lotus Petal. I just have the combo win next turn. And we'll pass. I'll just discard the Undercity Sewers, I don't really need it. They find a Shadowy Backstreet. Surveils away an Arid Mesa. They draw a card using the Silent Clearing. Goodbye to the Undercity Sewers that is discarded in my cleanup. They have a Sunbaked Canyon. Goblin Bombardment. Okay. So that will stop the Witherbloom combo. It also means that they can attack into the Atraxa and then sacrifice whatever I block. So that way they can deal damage through the Atraxa. Good draw. Alright, so this is very good for them. They are still in this game where otherwise they would be dead. And they're pretty close to killing me. I'm at 8. They have 6 creatures in play. We will attack with the Atraxa. This is going to get me further out of range. Play the Dark Ritual. Maybe I shouldn't have Dark Ritual. That might have been dumb. Will Collective Brutality for 2 modes. Target the Ocelot Pride and them. I will pay 1 more. Discard Unmask. They can fling the Ocelot Pride, but I don't think I care about that. So I go to 14, and then we'll go up to 16 eventually. Play the Witherbloom Apprentice, and we'll pass the turn. They drew Swords to Plowshares. That's not good for me. Okay. We'll block. I mean, they've had a couple really good draw steps here. The Goblin Bombardment into Swords to Plowshares. And now they should kill the Witherbloom. And they do. I'm a large creature away from another copy of Show and Tell, though. They draw a card using the Sunbaked Canyon. They still have another Wasteland in their hand. They finally play it. Okay. Oh my. Better lucky than good. I say this after our opponent had 2 incredible draw steps, but I deserve to get a little bit lucky too. Attracts a Grand Unifier. They put in... it must have been the Marsh Flats. So we'll take Dark Ritual, Show and Tell, Raph and Mikey, Lotus Petal, in the Swamp. Play the Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual. We'll Show and Tell, Raph and Mikey, Troublemakers. Go to combat. This should just be lethal, like, as long as I don't reveal the other Raph and Mikey Troublemakers. Oh, I forgot, I put Witherblooms in my deck. This is not lethal. They're at 2. And our opponent has conceded. Alright, so we went 3-2. We lost to the Azorius control deck, which is just designed to beat combo. And I'm trying to think what the other loss was. Let's go back. Oops All Spells. The other loss was Oops All Spells, and our deck has no graveyard hate, so when our opponent was on the play game 3, we didn't really stand much of a chance. So yeah, overall, I don't think I played the deck perfectly. Let's start there. Somebody like Rudeslay would have played it at a higher level than I did. I think I played it at an acceptable level. Not as good as a Mastermind, but, you know, I did what I could. I thought the deck was fun. It seems like it's relatively well positioned. I love the full juke. Like, your opponent's boarding in tons of graveyard hate and you're not even a graveyard deck anymore. Beautiful. Like, whoever came up with that in the community, well done. I like that a lot. So my feedback, and hopefully no one gets offended by this, 14 lands is a little light. The previous Reanimator deck in my Magic Online account has 16 lands. And I went back and looked in the middle of the matches, and my previous Reanimator videos usually have 16. There is a group of people that play Reanimator that really like 14. I think that you could probably get away with 15 if you're willing to play a Surveil land. Like, add in the 3rd Surveil land, and then you have a nice in the middle. Plus, Surveil lands are really good with all of your large monsters. So I would play a 3rd Surveil land. And as for the cut, I don't have a guaranteed deterministic answer. I think the answer is most likely the second copy of Raph and Mikey, or it's the second Duress. And I don't know which one it should be, but I think I would like 15 lands. It's just, we had a bunch of mulligans early this league where I just did not have mana, which was problematic. So I think I want the extra land there. That's really my only feedback and the only thing I would change about the deck list. So thank you to Ryan Kelly for the donation deck. Thank you to Rudeslay for the sideboard guide. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you all liked the video. If you did actually like it, comment and subscribe. Support the channel. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. That was a sweet donation deck. If you're interested in seeing your favorite combo deck here at the Epic Storm, visit theepicstorm.com/donation decks, where you can submit a deck to be featured here on this channel. And on top of that, if you're a higher member tier of this channel, like a Stormtrooper or a Combo Cabal, you get 50% off or even free. So there's tons of perks. Submit a donation deck today.